What's going on, guys? So today I got a 2005 f-150 with a 4.2 liter. I was here yesterday to diagnose the car, complaining the customer was complaining about a coolant leak. So I pressurized the system yesterday, and I see a stream of water coming down from up here somewhere. So I looked at the water pump, but I couldn't see any really, positive signs where it was leaking from the water pump. So I decided to look over and look up here somewhere up top. Lo and behold, well, right now it's kind of drained because I drained the radiator, but let me put my light on it. You could probably just see some wetness right in there. Well, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but basically where the lower intake gasket is, in the little corner there, you'll see some fluid, some coolant. And also if you looked inside of there, like I said, you can see the it's difficult to see honestly with the camera on there, but anyway, at the lower intake gasket level, there was a lot of coolant there. So I saw the coolant also dripping down from there. So I figured it was probably coming from there. I did a little bit of research on it, and kind of confirmed my suspicion, because you can still see it right there. I don't know if the camera will show it honestly. Maybe the light is kind of bright, but there's definitely water right there. You should see that zip ties. Inside the zip ties, if you can look there, that's water right there, what you're seeing. I'm trying to just move the light so you're not blinded by it. But anyway, so today we came to replace the valve, the upper and lower intake gasket, mainly the lower one for the leak. I'll post a link for the part. Gasket from Felpro sells the kit. So to remove this thing, it's not difficult, but not easy for the first time. I've done it before on a Ford Explorer, but never on this type of setup. So you got a lot less space in the back, but it's still doable. You have to climb inside the engine bay, or you have to have some type of ladder or something like that where you can actually have access in the back. So basically the one thing that I missed, basically you see all kinds of connections in the back, some hoses and whatnot right there, vacuum hoses, coolant hoses, and so you have to disconnect anything that you can put your hands on. And you take all of the 8mm bolts. They're going to be one here, one on the opposite side, two somewhere down there under the EGR. Oh yeah, you got to remove the EGR first. Two 10mm bolts. You got to remove these coolant hoses. I think this is heater hoses. Two 10mm bolts. So once you remove these things, and then the what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's an 8th one. That's the one that took me a little bit of time because I couldn't locate it. So you got to get a mirror. Get an inspection mirror, get your light on, look in the back. Sometimes that bolt can be buried under the all of that junk you see in the back, all of the wires and whatnot, the vacuum lines. You may miss it, but if you go to remove it, also I had to use my rubber mallet to kind of top it, because even these was off of it, the bolt was off, but it still was stuck on the lower intake there. It was really stuck. So I use my rubber mallet so I don't cause any issues there. Anyway, so once you get that last bolt, like I said, you may not be able to see it. You have to really dig behind the kind of unearth it. And that's about it. I still got the spark plug wires and everything else connected. These things, I don't know what kind of clamp that is and what's going to actually take. I mean, you can have a long, I guess, but I'd rather just take it out from the other side there. That goes right there. Same thing for the brake booster hose. I just decided to take it out from the booster side. And that's about it, I think. Now, this is loose, as you see. It's a matter of just trying to finesse it out of there with all of these attachments, all this wiring harness. Well, I'm going to try to muscle it out of here some way, somehow, and if I have to, I'll just remove the spark plugs. I just didn't want to, but like I said, if you have to, go ahead and do it, because sometimes this thing can be stuck there, you're trying to pull it and it breaks, and that's a new job for you. So that's the reason why actually I left them there. But if it has to become difficult, we're just going to remove them, and if it breaks, customer has to pay for new ones. That's just how it is sometimes. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got it off. As you can see, look at that puddle of there. And the injector side too. So yeah, you tell me where the heck is this coolant coming from except for the gasket? You know? Definitely not coming from the upper intake. There's no type of coolant or anything like that. So I don't know. So now we're going to, I believe, I'm not sure if the injector rail gonna come with the lower intake. Wait a minute now. Okay, I gotta remove this whole hoses right here in the front. Oh, I could have done that a long time ago. It would have made my life a lot easier now that I'm seeing it. So the thermostat and everything on this side has to come off. Well, I'll leave the thermostat on. I'll just remove the hose. Go into a thermostat, which is the upper radiator hose. But yeah, I see a bunch of 8mm and maybe 10mm bolts all over. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and attack that. Like I said, I'm going to remove all of these, the heater hoses. There's one heater hose, and there's another hose right here next to it, and then there's a big radiator hose. And then I think I can leave the injector plugged in. I'm just going to remove the connectors from it, but the injector rail, I'm going to leave it right there, the fuel rail. And I think I should be able to get this out of here. I'm not sure what else is in the back there attached to it. I gotta go and investigate that and see what I need to do to remove whatever is in the back there. I'm not sure. Again, I will update you once I get some progress here. All right, guys. Okay, guys, as you see on the picture, I was able to remove the lower intake with the injector and the fuel rail attached to it. And like I said, around the perimeter is going to be 10mm bolts, and inside of it you're going to see the 8mm longer ones. There's one 10mm at the back of it to the driver's side of it. That one is a hard one to get to, if you know, but you got to come from it at an angle. You can see all the water inside of the engine. I mean the coolant. And you can see all the crud and everything else. Even the injectors that look really, really nasty out there. So just a mess, you know. Yeah, just a mess. And here you see how I draped the inside of the engine with some towels there. So I don't have anything falling in the engine while I'm trying to clean up the mating surfaces for the lower intake gasket. And in the next shot, you're going to see it. Just, you know, did the best that I could. I think it's a pretty decent job there. You got the lower side, the part of it, and you got this, you know, of course, there's the side that you can see, but you also got the bottom side of it. It's going to have a gasket sitting there. And this is also the intake that I cleaned up pretty nicely on both sides, on all four sides, really. Yeah. And after that, you know, the rest was just kind of like putting things back together. I was pressed for time. I didn't get the chance to record it. Sorry.